Johann, just over a week since the final, now that you've had time to reflect and process on that big occasion, kind of what are your feelings from the day?
Yeah, I reflected on it quite a bit, at peace, knowing that our team gave it literally all they got. Disappointed that we didn't win it with the last play of the game because we put ourselves in a winning position. Absolutely no regrets. So proud of not only the players but the staff, the supporters and all involved at Bath Rugby. You know, if you think about the whole week, we stuck to our process. Very special, the walk-in. I've never seen so many blue, black and white supporters. And when we all walked in, we savoured the moment. Twickenham as an experience for a final. I've been involved in quite a few test matches there. The Quins game a year ago, but this memory will be special. And then just the performance on the pitch. You know, we started so well, dominated the gain line. We said we're not going to die wondering, we're going to throw punches, and so we did. Had a try scoring opportunity in that first minute when we just didn't get the bounce, and very proud of the way that we stayed composed after the red card, regrouped at half time, and you know, ended the game very strongly. Our fitness came through, our on-field organisation and consistency, we stuck to the plan, and you know, back in of 60 minutes we went ahead 21-18, and unfortunately we just fell short. You know, finals are incredibly close, and like I said, we had a shot with the last play of the game, and you know, we just couldn't quite execute. But as I said, we are tough to beat. We certainly became better throughout the season, and we performed in the final. And respect to our opposition. There's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser, and yeah, we are humbled in defeat.
You mentioned there about loads of different moments this season that's helped us improve, get us to the final. So what moments stand out for you that's kind of identified Bath Rugby as tough to beat and the team that we know today?
I think if I start off with the Prem Cup, it's a competition that Bath haven't done very well in the previous few years, and you know, we played more than 50 players in the Prem Cup. You know, on a Friday evening in Edinburgh, not part of the Prem Cup, but we played all of our youngsters, and the next day we played against Exeter at the Rec. So very proud of the fact that we could expose the squad in the Prem Cup, and you know, we performed. Then in terms of the Premiership, it's been a season of consistency. 18 rounds we've stayed in the top 4. We got points in 17 out of the 18 games, which you need to be consistent at to give yourself a shot at the back end of the season. And you know, we stuck with our theme of being consistent and getting better. Special moments, definitely the Newcastle one in round 1, for the fact that Bath haven't won the opening round in the Premiership for quite a few years, so that was an important step. The Stone X conceding a try very early on and then beating Saracens away. First time that we ever, as a club, have done that at the Stone X. Now the Gloucester and Bristol 2 weeks being down at half time, I think it was 20 points to 10, and then coming back. The Bristol game, what a game that was, beating them by 20 points to 19. And we as a group have said 1 point is the biggest and smallest margin in sport. The Quins one just before Christmas was very special. Being top at Christmas in more than 20 years, you don't win anything at Christmas, but it gives you an indication that you know, we've progressed. The Sale game in March, after a very, let's call it, interesting Six Nations period, none of the teams really knew what to expect. We decided to give the players and the staff 2 weeks away. We trained for 2 weeks, another week away, and then we played Gloucester and Leinster in friendly. So the way that we came back, and very proud of the way that the international players came back to perform in that Sale game. I think it was 24 all after 60 minutes, and the last 20 minutes we really performed well. Strange one, but the second half against Quins, being 40 points to 3 down and coming back, scoring 33 points unanswered. That gave us a lot of belief again in terms of, yeah, we are tough to beat. We can perform in any kind of circumstance. And then the Exeter away game after the disappointment of the round of 16. What a great place to go to, Sandy Park, an opposition that we respect so much. And then the Northampton one in which we confirmed the home semi-final. So many things could have happened in that game. I think 7 teams were still in it with the last round of games, and we did what we had to. Ben scoring the 4th try just after half time, and then it all came down to the other games. Obviously the semi-final is one of the nicest moments we as a group have had. That tunnel of noise when we walked in, and there was just something special around the record that day, and everybody involved in blue, black and white. And then I think that try from Niall Annett at about 74 minutes, and then the conversion from Finn, making it an 8-point game, and then 5 minutes to go they needed to score. So yeah, those were certainly the standouts moment through the Premiership season.
And obviously with the direction that you're leading across, there's many leaders in the squad that's helping push the direction of the team. Ben Spence, you mentioned, there's team captain Charlie Ewells, previously captain Finn Russell, captain of Scotland Miles Reid, also gaining captaincy this year. So how important are these leaders in the whole squad and the ambition the team's got, but also developing other leaders within the team?
Yeah, look, leadership development was one of the key goals at the start, something that I identified we need to work on, and so many people have grown. As I said, I can't speak highly enough of Ben and how he's grown as a captain. I want to give a lot of credit to Charlie, the way that he's come in. He's been like a new signing, and how he's supported Ben, and you know, strategically how he's contributed to the group. Finn has led in a big way, you know, being the national captain of Scotland, and how he's fitted into the team. And then, you know, so many others. Johann van Graan, what he's done in the 2 years that he's been involved, specifically with Josh McNally, the purple team, at the back end of the season, how they made sure that the whole group stays aligned. And then, too many to mention, but Danny, Miles Reid, Josh Bayliss has led in his way. Someone like Sam Undiel has come to the fore, specifically in our game plan group. And then somebody like Orlando, you know, when Finn got injured against Exeter, how he led and how he stepped up as our number 10. So it's been a real group effort, whether you're starting, whether you're an impact. Someone like Louis Schroeder has become exceptionally good at understanding his role in the team, and how he's managed the team in the last or closing minutes of games. And yeah, the group have really developed in terms of leadership, and how the players have become tighter, and you know, they've taken control of their destiny, and they're aligned to, you know, how we as a club want to do things.
And with every player knowing their role, obviously we've had a long season, loads of players have had opportunities, loads of players have had opportunities to go out and play within squad rotation. So can you just talk us through the importance of that and making sure everyone's kind of all on the same page and ready to go when they need it?
Yeah, squad is such a big word. We redefined each individual's IDP's individual development plan with the coaches at the start of the season, and every player had a plan, and it was very clear when players were going to play. You know, and some of the big belief performances, the Sale game away, not a lot of people gave us a chance, a heavily rotated team, and we were 9-8 up with a few minutes to go, and you know, we unfortunately conceded a penalty and lost 11-9. But moments like that gave the squad belief, and a lot of players, you know, put in a lot of hard yards, and you can't do it with 23 players. You've got to make sure you've got a squad. And I will reference the last week in the final when we had 3 full teams training, our starting team, our red squad and our purple squad, and how everybody understands now how we want to play, understand what we're about, and everybody's clear in terms of the expectations of what is required to be a Bath player. And you know, it was so difficult selecting teams at the back end of the season because we had virtually a whole squad to pick from. But you know, and the understanding that the player group have developed, and it doesn't matter who puts on the jersey, it's about performing in the jersey. And I can't speak highly enough of the squad and what they've done. And you know, there's a clear pathway for players. Some of our young players have come through magnificently. You've just got to look at how well we are represented at the England 20s, the Welsh 20s, the Scottish 20s, and in terms of the squad, 12 players in the England training group. What they did in that Six Nations block was great to see, and very proud of the group. And it's a privilege to coach this group and to be associated with them.
In terms of looking ahead to next season, what key areas of improvement have you kind of identified from this season, from the final, and we look towards 24-25?
I think the most important bit is to make sure everybody gets a good break. The players and the staff have gone on their break now, and I'm going to finish up in the next few days and going to spend some family time, and then allow space to make sure you do some critical thinking, reflect on what's happened, look at where the game is currently, anticipate where the game is going, some law changes, being adaptable and fluid. High performance is about being fluid and changing where change is needed. We found the way that we play the game now, so improving our current game, and then expectation. And expectation is a brilliant thing. We want to compete in all of the competitions that we play in, be it the Prem Cup, the Premiership or the Champions Cup, and then believing that the best is yet to come. We've had a magnificent season. Disappointed that we didn't get it with the last blow of the season, but as a group, looking back, taking the best bits out of last season and making sure when we start on the 15th of July we're back on zero. That's the beauty of sport. Everybody's back on even terms, and then improving our game bit by bit. And after doing some critical thinking and some thorough planning with the coaching staff, the heads of department, the leadership group and the players, we'll decide a course of action once everybody's back. The national players are away with their national teams and they'll have their break, and once we are all together we'll sit down, strategize for the season ahead, make sure that we've got clear goals and expectations from not only within the group but where we as a club want to go, and then look forward to a new season. I'm already looking forward to it, but take our time.
Obviously, with that position that we were in this season, in the past some teams might have looked at Bath Rugby and looked past us, but we're actually perhaps the other way now, where some teams are looking at Bath Rugby and think this team is hard to beat, this is what we have to do. So that comes with a different mindset this season. So how do you go about with understanding that challenge and processing it within the team in the new season?
Yeah, one of the teams I've learned so much this season is Man City. And one of the key things in terms of how they've performed over the last few years is peak performance. And what does that look like? You've got to win at home. We've got a very proud home record at the Rec, and it's become a fortress. We want to be even better at the Rec. We won 7 out of the 9 games in the Premiership. The 2 losses were a last-minute penalty against Leicester and a 76-minute penalty against Saracens. We were unbeaten in Europe at home, beating Ulster and Racing, and then we won a home semi-final. So you've got to make sure that you win your home games. We were very consistent away from home in the Premiership. The 4 games that we won away, we got 20 points, 4 bonus point victories away from home. And as I said, we got points away from home in every single game this season, bar 1 in the Premiership. And all of these little points, little margins add up in the end. So, and then understanding a season, seasons have ebbs and flows. So you've got to be adaptable, and you've got to understand that every week is unique. Start on zero, never too high when we win, never too low when we lose, and make sure that you stay in the race come March, April and May. And we'll start again in July, and then make sure we plan accordingly, and then most importantly enjoy the journey. It's such a privilege to be part of this group, and we've got a support staff that I trust, and the players trust them, and ultimately want to make players better. And this has become a club where people want to be associated with, and players want to come here. Just look at the number of players that have re-signed and the players that we have recruited, and the staff that we've assembled. We've added Rob Burgess this year as our head of recruitment. He's done a magnificent job. We've retained all of our heads of recruitment, and then we've got a world-class coaching group here. So people want to be part of this journey, and can't wait for the third one to start.
Obviously, with starting at 0, the slight benefit we've got is how similar this squad will be next year and how consistent it is with all those players re-signing and only a handful of players coming in. So how excited are you looking towards next season with those players staying on and the 3 players joining on as well?
In our performance model, two themes stand out. One is continuity. It's the first time that Bath Rugby have some continuity for a number of years, so continuity is so important in sport, and if you look at successful teams, they stay together for a long time. So very thankful and grateful for the support that Bruce have given the club, the board, the CEO and everybody at the club, the fact that we can have continuity, the fact that the club is in a very good place, the fact that the club wants to invest and want to be the best. So we've got continuity on the pitch and off the pitch, and then the second bit being conditioning, and 2 things on conditioning. We've become a team that can play for 80 minutes. The final showed that, the semi-final showed that, the Champions Cup showed that. So, you want to perform at the highest level. We're going to keep pushing to get better from a conditioning point of view. Finish games very, very strong. Have a squad of 23 players. It's not about the starters, it's about the impacts as well. So it's a 23-man effort, and then having the right players available for the right games. And bar one player, we had a full squad to pick from in the final, which is brilliant for the squad point of view. It means that we've got 3 training teams. It means that it makes my life very difficult in terms of selection. And what a great position that is for a coach. The fact that everybody wants to play and everybody's pushing for their place, being at the starting team or the impact. So, yeah, continuity and conditioning will be 2 keywords for us going into the 24-25 season.
And finally, Johann, obviously the support we've had this year at the Rec with the fans, you've already alluded to it already, but 2 big moments stand out. You've mentioned before, obviously, that Racing game with the fans and that semi-final. So in terms of the support we've had this year, how mentally happy are you with the support, and is there anything you'd like to say to the supporters generally?
Yeah, firstly, what an incredible the Rec has become to play in terms of vibe, and whether it rains, whether it's sunshine, it's an incredible place to play rugby. The Christmas game against the Quins was a massive moment for us as a group, and what the Rec gave us that day to pull us through against a very, very good Quins team. Wilmere's try against Racing, that noise, seeing the Rec literally erupt, will be something that stays with me for a long time. We as a group were 22-8 down. Alfie scored, Joe scored. We had the penalty, we went to the corner. Chris got held up. It was a goal line dropout, and then something we trained in the week, and then the players executed that to perfection. Alfie's clean, his ball presentation, Ben's pass, Cam's inside pass, Ollie's line, and then perfection right to left into Horse to score in Horse corner. So that was a magnificent moment. The Sale game in March was pretty special. Sunshine, Sunday afternoon after a big break. A lot of players haven't played the Rec for a long time, and then the last 3 weekends, Northampton, when we qualified, I remember walking around the pitch and then the announcer saying that we've got a home semi-final, seeing people happy, seeing people wearing their blue, black and white, a day of colour. And as I said, the semi-final, walking down from the hotel, that tunnel of noise, the drums, felt like everybody was behind the team that day. And everybody stayed afterwards. We as a club stayed on the pitch afterwards, and behind the East Pavilion, how the supporters supported us, and then the whole build up to the week, what I felt in the city and what we as a group felt throughout that whole week. And as I said, the walk in at Twickenham was incredibly special. And then I think one of the things that I said when I came here, Bath is a rugby city. People understand the values of the game. People are proud to be associated with the blue, black and white, and our supporters want to see a winning team, but more importantly a team that represents the values of the game. This town is about rugby, and when the players leave their hearts on the pitch, that's what our supporters love to see. And I'm very proud to be the coach of the Blue, Black and White, and to our supporters being in Bath or all over the world. Everywhere in the world there seems to be a Blue, Black and White supporter. A few months ago I walked in Stellenbosch in South Africa, and there was a guy sitting with his Blue, Black and White jersey. The Toulouse game, the amount of people that travelled again in Europe. So to all our supporters, thank you. We as a group are incredibly grateful for the support, and we're looking forward to the future. And we as a group and as a club believe that the best is yet to come. You've always got to look forward. You've always got to look and dream about the future whilst enjoying today. And the today is year 2 of our journey. We've loved every minute of it. We've improved. We were disappointed that we couldn't do it with the last play, but we've made absolute peace with the fact that everybody gave it their all. We've become tough to beat, and we're so proud to be associated with this club.
Well, thanks for your time, Johann. The best is yet to come. It's been a great season. Enjoy the off-season. We'll see you in July.
Thank you.